Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice is DC Comics and Warner Bros.' first attempt at a comprehensive cinematic universe. As a fan of DC Comics, I enjoyed most of it. As a film critic, I have more reservations. Is it a philosophical look at all-powerful beings and themes of humanity? Is it an excuse to have DC's biggest superheroes punch each other in the face? Or is it a call to arms for future Justice League movies? Maybe it's all of those, but does it work that way? Honestly, I'm not really sure. While I love certain storylines, I was also left scratching my head at whether or not the whole thing succeeded as one uniform film. One thing I can say for sure is that Ben Affleck is my favorite live-action incarnation of Bruce Wayne to date. His scenes with Jeremy Irons' Alfred were definitely highlights, and I look forward to what the future has in store for this version of the character. On the other hand, I'm not entirely sure if I actually like Superman in this movie, or if I just like Henry Cavill. The Superman arc in Dawn of Justice features more of the existential kind of brooding that isolated the character in Man of Steel and made him hard to relate to. Plus, with all the collateral damage he can't help but cause, I'm not sure if I can really blame Batman for wanting to fight him. I will admit that being familiar with The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller, on which most of the versions of these characters are based, Batman's actual reasons for waging war on the godlike Superman seem far less legitimate. However, it does offer the setup for them to ultimately work together more believably than if they simply extended a helping hand to one another, since these characters think very differently from one another.
What's your position on the Bat Vigilante in Gotham?
Daily Planet. Wait, do I own this one? Or is that the other guy?
Civil liberties are being trampled on in your city. Good people living in fear.
Don't believe everything you hear, son.
I've seen it, Mr. Wayne. He thinks he's above the law.
The Daily Planet criticizing those who think they're above the law is a little hypocritical, wouldn't you say? Considering every time your hero saves a cat out of a tree, you read a puff-piece editorial about an alien who, if he wanted to, could burn the whole place down. There wouldn't be a damn thing we could do to stop it.
Most of the world doesn't share your opinion, Mr. Wayne.
Maybe it's the Gotham City in me. We just have a bad history with freaks dressed like clowns.
I won't criticize Dawn of Justice for being dark. It contains a sort of gothic vibe that's more typical for DC Comics. What I will criticize is the attempt to turn Lex Luthor into the modern-day archetype of a young, quirky, socially awkward millionaire mogul. This film also doesn't allow the history or conflict between arch-enemies Superman and Lex Luthor to build at all. Other interactions between characters, however, succeed surprisingly well. Gal Gadot steals scenes as an alluring and kick-butt Wonder Woman, so much that you'll regret that she isn't in more of the film. Perhaps Batman vs. Superman is not the best film for more casual spectators of superhero movies, but even with the criticisms I have, I would watch it again. In the end, the less well-handled aspects of the film may all be worth it just to see DC's big three finally fight together on the big screen. For the Needham Channel News, I'm Jillian Tedesca.